This is definitely better. Right here, just pull this in. I had the mask on, safety glasses, but there's so much steam coming up, I couldn't even see. So it looks like dirt bike goggles aren't working too bad. They're still a little bit fogged up, but maybe I'm just a fat kid and I breathe too much. What happened? Oh, you look like I feel, man. So if you guys have never done concrete work, it's a different kind of work. It's different muscles. I'm feeling it today. I punted on help because, you know, those guys helped me a lot yesterday. So I was like, you know what? I don't need them to come back. And we're obviously trying to save money. And I know Jerry would come back for free. I had to fight with him to take money. Yeah, I got to get these joints cut. It's real critical day after pouring for multiple reasons. The dust content will be down because it won't be as dry. They call it green. And you don't want cracks to start happening. So we're gonna dig deep on this one and get in there and do some layouts and stuff like that. So like the rule of thumb is 10 foot by 10 foot is what you want to cut expansion joints, or so it moves. And so we're gonna go every 10 feet, and then I'm gonna cut this, I guess they call it an apron. The way I formed it, it came out a little bit. So I believe Dakota was the one that told me you got to cut that or it's definitely going to crack. So it's a barn floor, but I don't want it to be all cracked up, you know, like a piece of glass. So we're going to take a look in here real quick, and I'm going to show you how everything turned out. I'm very, very pleased, and got to get this done so I can enjoy my day off with my family, and I'm going to push through here. So we're going to take a quick look at it, and this is exactly what we wanted here. See how deep that is for traction, because eventually over time this will get worn down, believe it or not. So these little crumblies, you know, Keisha asked what these were, and when you're brooming, it brings the cream up. So, you know, they brought up a really valid point, and I knew this as well, that you can't pick them out when the concrete's wet, because then you'll have little fingerprints and stuff in there. So here's one here. Look, you just pop them right off. So you pop them all off, and here's like an area here. We'll just work it out. Those will come off, and then it's exactly the way you want it. So let that be a valuable lesson. Never to try to get them off right after you broom it, because you'll make it 10 times worse, I promise you. So we're going to blow this off real quick with a backpack blower, and then we're going to do 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Jerry is a perfectionist, so he told me to find center and then go out. So I'm going to do a couple different kind of layouts once I get a game plan, and then we'll talk about why I chose the way to cut the lines. All right, now that we got that blowed off, I just wanted to get as much of the stuff off the concrete as possible, because now we're gonna pull some chalk lines and stuff like that. So you wanna make sure that the chalk gets on the concrete so you can see the line when you're cutting it. All right, guys, I come up with a plan of attack here, and if you see behind me here, I'm time-lapsing all this stuff here. So check out that. That'll just be through like a short video or whatnot, but sometimes I like watching shorts better because they're quick. And you get to the point real fast there, watching everyone do everything. But so I'm gonna flip the camera around here, and this is center, pretty much center of the barn. It's an optical illusion. I pulled it both ways with a tape just to check. So here's 20 feet. I pulled the tape this way because when I work it backwards, it works out to be 10, 10, 10. And then this last cut from here to there is 9 foot 7 inches, I believe. So as long as it's below 10, and then we're gonna cut this apron here. I hope this thing fires up. I haven't ran it in a while at work, and this is a, I don't know what size motor it is, but it's a bear to start, even with a compression release. So I'm gonna get some string lines here, get those screws in, and we'll strike some lines through here. So we're gonna pull this one right across this apron here. And now we'll cut that one as well. All right, well, this is the messy part here. So this being still green next day, I'm using a kneeling pad and I'm trying to be very light on my tips of my toes so you don't scuff up the concrete. So I'm gonna get a chalk box here, and then we'll pull it across here. This is where it's nice to have two people, but right here, just pull this and that red mark there coming down through here, I will get that walk behind quickie saw stand and we'll just follow that red mark. And they said about 1/2 to 3/4 inches depth. So you don't want to go real deep and cut the wire that's in there because that keeps everything together. So these are just stress relief. So we're gonna do this one through here and then I'm gonna run back down through there. All right, you can see we got all the red lines through here. And I'm gonna start somewhere in the middle here, man. I had a heck of a time getting that quickie saw started. We just had it serviced too. That's what really upsets me. We run non-ethanol fuel. I had to tear it all apart and actually dump a little bit of gas down the cylinder for it to get the fire. So I have no idea. I'm not naming names, but we just took about 5 different pieces to a local place that claims to be a steel dealer, and I'm not joking. Everything come back and didn't work. Luckily I got it running now. We're gonna start on this one here first. So I gotta get the depth and all that set, so I'll get it over here. All right, so I'm trying to figure this out because I had the mask on, safety glasses, but there's so much steam coming up, I couldn't even see on my safety glasses. So I'm gonna try my chainsaw helmet here with this screen. And I've never done this before, so I'm sure, you know, I gotta figure it out. There's a little method to the madness here. So what happened is the dust covered up my lines. I had to blow it off with a backpack blower, but I'm gonna try something different here now. So, like, nothing's ever easy. It's a little bit deeper than what they originally said. They said about 3/4 to an inch. So now I know I'm gonna have to keep cutting these. The cart thing's not working. I'm done messing with it. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more cuts to do. I'll check in periodically through cutting this stuff here, but I'm not gonna film every one because it's not fun. So it looks like dirt bike goggles aren't working too bad. They're still a little bit fogged up, but maybe I'm just a fat kid and I breathe too much. That's my hardest problem, is being able to see this here. So this is definitely better. So I probably have like anti-fog stuff on this from riding dirt bikes. But we got 2 more cuts here, so I'm just gonna grind through it. If I did this every day, I'd be trying to figure something out for sure. All right, guys, so I got all the expansion joints cut, and me never doing that before, I had a pretty good chance of making a mistake. So I did a practice cut down at the far end. I'll show you where I messed up, but turn this around. For the most part, I cut them pretty good. Everything's really straight. I followed the red line. That cart, I don't know, probably just gonna sell that thing because it wasn't very good at all, but most of them worked out really nice and straight lines. Where I did mess up a little bit is the blade jumped on me trying to cut around these corners, and I jumped out right here a little bit and nicked that out. But what I'm gonna do is once I'm gonna wash all this stuff up, and then once it's cured, I'm gonna get some concrete caulking. It's like a gray stuff that matches. And you're supposed to caulk the expansion joints anyway, so that'll get hit up pretty good with caulking. It's the famous saying, do your best and caulk the rest. So they told me once I get all this cut, I have to wash all this down and then I'm done. I mean, if you guys have never done any type of work like this, like, it's really starting to bring some awareness to me why this stuff costs so much, because it's hard work. If you notice how much you're bending over, down on your knees, up and down, it's really hard on the body. And you know, anyone that has done concrete their whole career, construction, I'd put money on it. Someone that has a 30 or 40 year career in construction, if they don't have one type of body aching pain, then they didn't work. They must have sat around and watched people work. 'Cause I'm in my 40s and I'm really feeling it. And I keep saying I'm gonna slow down, but I don't know, for some reason, it's almost like a drug to me, like working. If I sit around, I feel worse. Whenever I work, I feel better. And it's not just me, because when we sat down for lunch yesterday, everybody's like, man, we gotta get moving. I'm starting to seize up. So it's just something with the body. So it's just better to work smarter, not harder. If you can use tools and stuff to make your life easier, it definitely helps prolong your body. So we're gonna get this washed up here, and then I'm packing things up. So I've learned a lot on this project. Spraying water on that keeps the concrete moist, which makes it cure harder. So if you ever went down the road and you've seen like a bridge project or something, a lot of times they'll spray water on it for the cure time, so it makes the concrete harder down the road. I spent a lot of time on, of my own personal time doing this project, and I had a lot of help from friends that saved a ton of money. So I don't want to be reckless and go in there and just bust it all up. I want it to last, hopefully, my lifetime, to be honest with you. I think if we take care of it and don't like drive anything like super heavy on it, like a dozer or something like that, it'll definitely be a long journey for this concrete. I've been on jobs that concrete's 60 years old, so that's way past my lifetime. But like always, we appreciate you guys watching. It really helps out if you guys subscribe to the channel. Costs you nothing. If you hit the like button, it helps the channel grow, and then it reaches more people. We're a DIY channel. We do a lot of things ourselves to save money, and I don't claim to be perfect or know everything. So there's a lot of times people will reach out to me and say, hey, you should do this, or you should do that. And it's very helpful, and I'm very grateful for people looking out for my best interest as well. So this is some of the reason why we enjoy doing this channel, is the interaction and helping people down the road. So we appreciate you, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.